Hello and welcome to the 2021 Festival of Learning Awards. I'm Stephen Evans and I'm the Chief Executive of the Learning and Work Institute. This is the 29th year we've run the Festival of Learning, and it's the second year that our awards have been online. I know lots of you are watching online, so please do post your comments and congratulations to the winners through our YouTube and Facebook channels and using the Twitter hashtag FOL Awards. And we'll make sure we share as many of those messages as possible through the awards ceremony. The pandemic has had a really profound effect on all of us, but I know that lifelong learning has been a lifeline for many. Our Learning During Lockdown report showed that 43% of adults took the chance to learn something new during the first lockdown back in spring 2020, with an explosion in online learning in particular. And many of tonight's award winners have had to adapt rapidly to a switch to learning online, as well as supporting their fellow learners to get used to the technology too. And that's often had lots of spillover effects too, improving digital skills and making keeping in touch with family and friends much easier. There's also lots of stories of adult education groups helping their communities during the worst of the pandemic, whether that's making gowns for the NHS or reaching out to those in their communities that needed help the most. And I think that reflects the power and the impact of lifelong learning. It's not just a class, it's a community, and it's not just about learning, it's about life. Now, I want to thank our supporters and partners, the Department for Education, NOCN, Skills and Education Group, Education and Training Foundation, CityLit, and the WEA. Your support enables the Festival of Learning to take place, and we're grateful for it. And the Festival of Learning is all about celebrating the very best in adult learning, the amazing learners, tutors, employers and provision that you're going to hear about tonight, and inspiring more adults to learn too. So I congratulate all of this year's worthy winners. I know that your stories will inspire others and that you will be great ambassadors for learning too. So it's time now to get on to the winners, hear about their stories and hand out some awards. Our first award is the Patrons Award. This is selected by the Learning and Work Institute patron, Her Royal Highness Princess Anne, and we're delighted that we now have her here to introduce the award winner.
Good evening. As patron of Learning and Work Institute, which runs the Festival of Learning, I have been impressed by the achievements of the 12 award winners and 6 finalists, selected from hundreds of excellent nominations. Adult education has helped them to transform their lives and the lives of those around them. Now more than ever, we need to highlight the personal, professional, and social impacts of lifelong learning and the important role it plays in all our lives. Many people, providers and employers have had to adapt their approaches to learning through the pandemic and have also found new ways to support each other and their communities. Despite the challenges, the truly transformative power of adult education has shone through, and we have all become lifelong learners in so many different ways. Learning and Work Institute shows clearly the value of lifelong learning, and it has highlighted the many ways in which learning has been of value to adults in the last year, including to support each other, for example, to adapt to online learning. I hope that you will all be inspired both to celebrate the achievements of the award winners and to work toward a culture of lifelong learning across the country. I'm delighted to announce that the Festival of Learning Patrons Award winner is Matthew Turner. Matthew has autism, which has unfortunately held him back in his education and employment. Having reached his early 30s, Matthew decided to take his first step back into learning. Pursuing his passion for travel and tourism felt the most natural step, and Matthew applied for college. Since then, he has achieved so much, progressing on to further learning and gaining distinctions in many of his assessments. Taking this step back into education as an adult has opened so many doors for Matthew and helped him to transform his life. He has gone on to gain secure employment, and Matthew volunteers within the autism community to support those in similar situations to himself. So congratulations to Matthew on winning this year's Festival of Learning Patrons Award, and well done to all the other award winners being celebrated at this year's award ceremony. I know your stories will help to inspire many more adults into learning too. Thank you.
I like learning, just about really learning new things which I didn't know about before, which can actually help me getting a job in the future. My name's Matthew Turner. I've been studying at Bradford College for the last 4 years, doing travel and tourism, which I've really enjoyed. During college time, we did different kinds of trips during the 4 years I've been here. I've been to Dublin, I've been to Liverpool Airport, I've been to various places. I've been bowling, I've been to theme parks. Yeah, and also one of my memorable bits is when I did barista, and I got a level 2 qualification in barista. My autism affects me. What I've been doing at college is if I needed, I could take time out from the classroom if I felt really anxious. I could work at home doing my assignments, and also I could always speak to my tutors as and when I needed to, if I felt something wasn't right or I just needed to talk to someone while I was at college. I've also done event planning and work teamwork, so I'm quite good at that now. I've also been a team leader in the event planning. I've been a student rep for the past 3 years, so I've had to attend meetings, whether it's been in college or online. I've had to attend them. I've been at Bradford College for 4 years, but over the last 3 years, so level 2, level 3 year 1 and level 3 year 2, I've got distinctions throughout. So level 3 year 1 and level 3 year 2, overall I got distinction star, and I'm the only student who has achieved that. I'm feeling more confident in myself, and now I've made friends. Now I'm able to speak to more people than before I started college. I couldn't really do that. I'm going to look at getting a job, maybe within the college somewhere or just out in the wider area. I'd like to work at Leeds Bradford Airport in the hospitality sector. I felt really surprised when I was nominated for the award because I wasn't expecting it. Because to me, I think there are other people out there who are better than me. So I was just really shocked but pleased at the same time. But it took a while for it to sink in. I'm proud of what I have accomplished.
I was very surprised when I was put forward for an award. Then when I found out I had been shortlisted, I was very excited. I hadn't realised how many people had entered. Then to win the award was unbelievable. I was very excited. I want to thank Sarah O'Connell and Faye McFadden, who were my tutors at Bradford College. They were very good at making sure I was able to understand all the work and putting things in place so I didn't get overwhelmed. Also, I want to thank my mum and dad, who kept me going when I kept wanting to give it all up. They all believed in me.
Next, it's time for our President's Award. This is selected and introduced by the Learning and Work Institute President, Nick Stewart, CB. Nick joined the Department for Education and Science in 1964 and served in many roles until his retirement, including Head of the Civil Service, Advisor in the Cabinet of the President of the European Commission, and a number of posts as Director General in the Education and Employment Departments. Here's Nick to introduce this year's President's Award winner.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to start with a quotation, a bit dispiriting. It goes, "Men learn nothing from history, except that men learn nothing from history." Now, I think that's a bit pessimistic. I'm rather more optimistic than that. In 1919, a report on adult education was published. It urged that adult education should not be regarded as a luxury for a few exceptional people, but rather, and I quote, as a permanent national necessity, an inescapable aspect of citizenship, and therefore both universal and lifelong. Now, that's absolutely right. That clarion call still echoes today. Then, in the wake of the First World War, it was about national reconstruction. Today, amidst the ravages of COVID-19, it is again about national reconstruction. Now, this year we celebrate the foundation of the British Institute of Adult Education. 100 years ago, its purpose was to keep alive the vision of adult education as a key ingredient of national rebuilding. The Institute of Learning and Work is its direct descendant. We share its founding aims to inspire people to learn and to help them transform their experience of learning and work. I'm very proud to be the Institute's president in its centenary year. Whilst governments have often wavered in their support, the flame of the 1919 report has never been more visible than in the inspiring work of voluntary bodies and charities. That is why I've chosen as the winner of this year's President's Award a small local charity working at the heart of its local community in South London. It specialises in working with refugees and those seeking asylum. Its ESOL courses are a vital lifeline for many people in the community. Language connects them with other people, with the wider community. It helps them to learn new skills. It helps them to move into work and or into further education. And it helps them to access services when they need it. It is about confidence. It is about independence. It's about an end to isolation. And therefore, I'm delighted to present the President's Award for 2021 to the Caras Adult ESOL Project. The short film that follows will tell you much more about it. Thank you.
Unity is love and living together.
My name's Daniel, I'm from London, and I run an adult ESOL project for people with a refugee and asylum background. At Caras, we have a holistic service, so it's about ESOL classes, it's about learning English, but it's equally about supporting people with other needs that they have, maybe problems with housing or with personal circumstances. That individual one-to-one support is really important. but also activities that build social networks and communities. Drama classes, creative writing workshops, gardening projects, just the full package of activities that help somebody to feel a sense of belonging in London, in a community, and a place where they feel at home. Caras has always been based in the community in South London. For many years, we've been in Tooting, and we've had face-to-face activities at our community centre there. Obviously, that all changed in March last year, as it did for all the other community groups in London, and we moved from that face-to-face classes to online ESOL classes. We'd never done that before. Actually, we'd never run an online class at Caras, and students had never heard of Zoom. So it was a challenging time, but it was also a really rewarding time as well, because we all learned how to use new technology, new media, and to stick together, to stay together as a community, during the darkest of times. I think the online option has really expanded what we can offer, and I think it's here to stay for the long term now. We'll never go back to only having a physical presence in South London. We'll always offer now a choice of online activities, face-to-face activities, and that blended option, I think, gives the most people the most support that we can. Working for Caras has been so transformative for me, because it's allowed me to meet the most incredible group of people from all over the world, multilingual people with the most rich array of languages and culture and experiences, and everybody comes together and everybody gets on and supports each other, and there's a real feeling of wanting to make the best out of difficult circumstances and wanting to fulfill themselves, live fulfilling lives. And I just find that inspiring. I find that interesting. I find it such a rewarding thing to do.
English it changed money thing in my life, because when you speak in language everybody speak is good. You speak, you talk, you change the idea, you change the culture. Yeah, for me is very important to learn English. Grace of Caras.
Thank you for this award and for the recognition that it gives to the Caras Adult ESOL team and the amazing work they've done throughout this last year on engaging newly arrived refugees and asylum seekers into an English programme that helps to build their communication skills, boost their confidence, and help them get to know a local community. We're really proud that our approach does offer a holistic range of support to people. We know that having lots of support and lots of contact is how people go on to thrive in their new communities, and the ESOL plays a huge part of this. And I'm extremely proud of our team, the staff, the volunteers and the learners for achieving this. Thank you so much for this amazing award.
Now it's time for two awards, the Learning for Work and the Employer Awards. These are sponsored by NOCN, and we're very grateful for their ongoing support for the Festival of Learning. The Learning for Work and Employer Awards are introduced by Graham Hastings-Evans, the Managing Director of NOCN.
Thank you very much, Stephen. As you probably all know, NOCN has worked closely with the Learning Works Institute and in its earlier guise at NIAS, who helped set us up over 30 years ago, to really help people get into employment and to actually, throughout the whole of their working lives and their lives, learn. And therefore lifelong learning is in our DNA. And we do appreciate that learning is good for you as a person, for your well-being, for your mental health. So very positive for you in the way that you interact within society and your own life. But learning is also crucial to help get you people into employment, or to make them economically active, run their own businesses, do other things part-time. So it's really important that people continue to learn, and hence our commitment to recognition of that lifelong learning, that it continues after formal education. People leave school and they need to learn through all their lives. I'm sure all of us can recognize probably most days we learn something new, and that's good for us as people. And I think it's even more important now in a post-COVID world where the world is changing so much. We need to adapt our skills. People have to do things more online than they did before. The whole world is changing. The way that we work with others is going to change. The way we do things, the way we make things, the way we sell things, move things around, all of that is going to change. And people need to learn those new skills to that adapting world. And COVID has sort of accelerated the change. It was there anyway, but it's accelerated. And therefore, it's really critical part of that change is the employers are committed to and involved with lifelong learning, and really want to upskill their workforce and their people, and recognize they're going to do that all of the time. And as a result, we think that the Employer Award is really important, because we want to celebrate employers doing just that, helping their people to continuously develop. So the Employer Award recognizes the employers that are going that extra mile to support their employees, including their apprenticeships in the workforce, and help them continuously upskill and adapt to the ever-changing environment. And we're delighted to be able to support that award for that reason. If we now move on to the award itself, we've had some fantastic applications again this year. The judges, of which I'm one, have had a very difficult period deciding who to go with. It's always really hard, but it is now my absolute pleasure to announce that the winner of the Employer Award this year is Salts Healthcare. Thank you very much.
Salts are a long-standing business within the Birmingham area. We are a manufacturer and healthcare company for within the medical device industry. We've got a large factory, production factory here, as well as the central services. And throughout the country, we have a branch network of 19 branches where we distribute our products.
To realise the potential of Salts as a business is to realise the potential of our people. And so that's why we find it important that we'll get people to reach their full potential, and the business will reach its full potential.
We do a combination of all development programs, so apprenticeships are part of that, very, very integral part of that.
When I started 10 years ago, we had one apprentice, and this year we've passed off around about 50 apprentices at different levels, levelling from level 2 right through to level 4. The majority, if not all of these people, have come from production jobs. When they become qualified and with more experience, have actually moved out of their production jobs into the engineering department. Well, they'll do their next level of training, which will take them from level 3 through to 4. College supplies us with the theory, and the training, on-the-job training, is done within the workplace.
I think generally they embrace the opportunities that we've given them.
I was extremely proud of each and every candidate. Last year, one of our adult apprentices, he actually won the Apprentice of the Year, Birmingham Metropolitan. I think I wrote a statement at the time to congratulate the guy, but actually any one of the apprentices could have won that award. They put that much effort into their studies.
This award is theirs. It's just that we are coordinating it almost, but it's very definitely theirs. If we had a physical thing, we'd get them to all hold it up as like they do with the FA Cup.
I could say it was a team effort.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm delighted to accept this award on behalf of the learners themselves and Salts Healthcare. This award means a lot to everyone here at Salts, but all the hard work and the credit goes to the learners themselves. They've put incredible amounts of effort over the years, past, present and future. So this is very much your award, and I hope you'll enjoy celebrating with me the achievement that you've had. And we'll go on to do more programs. So thank you very much. Thank you also to BMET for the nomination and the Festival of Learning for the actual award itself. Delighted to accept on behalf of all of those. Thank you very much indeed.
As I mentioned in the earlier award for the Employer Award, I mentioned the importance of supporting people into both employment and into self-employment, and how important that was for the individual and their family and the community. That development into employment or into self-employment are both important, and they contribute to leveling up within our society, creating a more equal society, giving people access to the skills and development that they need for themselves, their families, and to input into society. And it's for that reason that we actually feel that the Learning for Work Award is really important, because it demonstrates that journey, that movement through and the challenges that everybody faces in their lives, and these are big challenges that are for people that are applying for this award, that they work their way through that and they achieve what they want to achieve. So if I now turn to the award itself, again, another great set of applicants, really difficult decisions for the judges. We weigh back and forth, we debate, but we come down to a decision. And I'm delighted to announce that this year's winner of the Learning for Work Award is Naomi Louise. Thank you.
I grew up around a lot of people with additional needs, and I have a disabled child myself. I've always wanted to be a barber, but mainly when I had my son, because he hated getting his hair cut, so I decided that I wanted to do it. I want to go and do things what other barbers can't do, which is work with people with additional needs. I've done level 2 barbering and almost completed level 3 barbering. We've done a lot of it through lockdown. The main challenges going back to learning as an adult is probably working around people that are a lot younger than me. I was really nervous because I'd not been in education for a very long time, but I actually enjoyed it. If I wouldn't have come back to learning, I probably wouldn't have gone self-employed, because I wouldn't know how I needed to be around everybody else.
Naomi came to Bolton College after a long gap of education at 27, doing barbering. And Naomi's motivation to learn is to carve herself a career in something that she likes, and she's got a vision and a goal that she's going towards, something that she thinks she should have done at 16, but the opportunity wasn't there for her. She shows me that it doesn't matter how old you are, you can change, and if you've got a goal, you can go for it and succeed.
I'm working towards becoming a full-time barber, so I want to be able to go self-employed so I can travel further than just a shop, because there's not a lot of people with additional needs that will come to the shop. I've become more confident in coming back to education. I weren't really a people person. I wouldn't just go and speak to anybody. But obviously we have different clients coming in at different ages, so you have to hold that conversation, you can't just be silent. I think I've become more confident in myself and around other people. If someone was on the fence about coming back to learning, then definitely do it, because it's made a massive difference to me. no matter what age you are, you can do what you wanted to do in the beginning.
English language learning can be truly transformative, and we wanted to celebrate that with our next award. So I'm delighted to welcome Nafisa Graham-Brown, the Head of Life Skills and Community at ELAT, a charitable adult and community learning provider, and National Co-Chair of NATECLA, to introduce the English Language Learning Award.
Thank you, Stephen. It is my great pleasure to present this English Language Learning Award to the winner this year. Many adult learners who study ESOL, or English for Speakers of Other Languages, like the winner of this award, come to the UK seeking safety, reunion with their family members, and a new life here in the UK. English language skills are crucial for them to be able to participate with agency in their new lives. These are people who work with us, live together in our communities, and enrich our daily lives. They are our current and future diverse workforce and play a large role in how successful we are as a nation. It is really important for us to make sure learners like our winner will always be able to access ESOL classes and other learning throughout their lives. NATECLA, as the National Association representing ESOL, is committed to working with our ESOL and adult learning communities to support this to happen. So now, it is my great pleasure to present this award to Hassan, our English Language Learning Award winner this year.
My name is Hassan. I was born in Iraq. I was as a nurse in hospital. When I 32 years old, I left Iraq to Turkey because the Iraq is very difficult for me and for my family. I lived in the UK in 2018. I feel very happy. I'm very happy when I lived in UK. Just 1 week maybe I'm very upset, I'm very nervous, I'm very worried about that because I'm just understand just 2 words. Just say hello and bye. Yeah, just 1 week I'm about that. Now is good. I felt a little bit nervous and scared when I learn English, but I learn more English with my teacher. So being able to work and being able to make friends, because when I make friends to help me about learning English, able to go to volunteer and charity shop and talk more with personnel, with customer, and with my children to help him about homework, and with a doctor, and sometimes I talk with my teacher volunteer, come to my house and help me about that, and learn me a new words and the new grammar. This is always good. It has been a difficult journey, but I am happy to where I am now, because I'm finding a job and I'm now good life with my family, to help my family, to help my children. Sometimes I help my neighbor in the garden and talk with him more. I hope to learn more and back to my job. I loved my job in Iraq. Now I need to back to this job, nursing. And I hope to learn more English and improve that, and go to university to study more, and to work in the hospital in the UK. Hello. Thank you for this award. I feel very happy and proud to receive it. I think I am lucky because I have had a lot of good people to help me with my life in the UK and with my learning English. In particular, I would like to say to my teacher, thank you so much, and to my friend Liz and Jazz, who have helped me to find a job and to learn many words and buy a car and a lot of other things. And the refugee support group in Richmond, who are all fantastic, the Refugee Council, and to my neighbors and my friends and my community who have welcomed and supported me. Many thanks to everyone.
Right, time for another award now. This award is our Learning for Health Award. We know that learning can have great benefits for people's health and well-being, so it's great to celebrate that. And this award is going to be introduced by Simon Parkinson, the Chief Executive of the WEA, who sponsor this award.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm delighted that the WEA is again able to support the Festival of Learning by sponsoring the Learning for Health Award. It's a really important award for us. You know, there's so much focus, you know, perhaps rightly, on skills and employability at the moment. But actually, we all know that lifelong learning has far more reach and benefits from that. So that absolute positive benefit in terms of mental and physical health and well-being, not just on individuals, but on their families, on their workplace colleagues, on just raising these important issues generally. And I think this year's award winner does that really, really well. This is a guy that has overcome, you know, physical and mental health issues to really succeed at work. He's also done that by taking multiple level 2 qualifications. So again, when there's a focus on higher level qualifications, you know, this guy's just shown the real necessity for not just one, but a number of level 2 qualifications. So I'm delighted on behalf of the WEA to announce that this year's award winner for the Learning for Health Award is Paul Ackroyd.
My name's Paul Ackroyd. I work for First Bus. I'm a bus driver working in Leeds, and about 5 years ago I became quite ill and got struck down by a life-changing illness. It's called peripheral neuropathy. It affects your peripheral nervous system. It's actually a degenerative disease that does get worse over time. It's not ever going to get better. And as it got worse, and the drugs that I was taking and stuff, I spoke to Barry, who's the learning mentor in the learning centre, and explained to him that I wanted to do some courses, because obviously I've always liked doing courses, just to help with me understanding the illness and how it's going to affect me and the medication that I've got to take. And that's really how it started. I started on a few mental health courses. He asked me what courses I wanted. He asked me what I wanted to do, what I wanted to get out of it. And I explained to him about the illness and how it affects me. So we started choosing courses that were about mental health, and courses that were the counselling course, the drugs course. Obviously, when I first started with illness, it was quite hidden. It was not sort of like, it didn't affect me very much. But obviously, as time goes by, it sort of spreads through your body. Like, a lot of the drivers don't realise that there is this tool there for them to learn, that there's the ability to get the different qualifications. So I sort of like, if people ask me when they see me doing the course or in conversation, I tell them to go see Barry, explain to them how it works. As an adult, when you go into learning, I think the biggest thing that you've got to overcome is setting aside the time, because we all have busy lives. We're working, but you've actually got to think to yourself, if you want to do the journey, you've got to set aside the time to do the course. But I've always been a person that likes doing courses, that likes learning new things. The illness that I've got is at some point, is going to stop me being a bus driver. Because my specialist has told me that there is a chance in 5 years' time I could be in a wheelchair. I've looked at it quite open-minded, and I would like to go towards the counselling, sort of like the mental health counselling. It's something that I enjoy. So I said I wanted to do the level 3 and level 4 courses and the advanced course with a view to maybe doing the counselling. I felt that, with the illness that I've got, and going the things that I've been through and the highs and lows, because that's what sort of illness it is. It's a high and low. It's peaks and troughs. You can have a good day and a bad day, and it just made me feel really warm inside and emotional to know that, no matter how poorly I've been, I've still had the ability to do the learning and win an award. I was immensely proud of it. Yeah, really proud. I still am. Every day I think about the award and how proud I am of myself. I'm pleased to accept this award. I'd like to thank Barry and Chris for their nomination, and I hope to continue my learning journey in the future. Thank you.
Our next award is the New Directions Award. This is all about learners who've helped to change their life or move in a new direction through learning. It's sponsored by the Skills and Education Group, and here to introduce the award winner is Paul Eales, their Chief Executive.
Stephen, thank you very much for that introduction. Here at the Skills and Education Group, we're all about the advancement of skills and education to improve the lives of individuals. It's what we've been doing for over 100 years, and we are delighted to be sponsoring the New Directions Award for another year. The pandemic has thrown up all kinds of challenges to many of us. Lots of people are now reconsidering what they do in the future. Through all sorts of different reasons, but the pandemic being highlights and focuses that and focuses the mind on that. We absolutely need to recognise that people in life change what they do, and they do it quite often at quite a significant personal and family cost. And this New Directions Award wants to recognise that and actually celebrate not only the achievement of learning, but the achievement of actually pushing through some of the significant barriers that people face as they transition into a new career, a new journey, a new opportunity for them and their family. There's been some great stories that we've read as judges related to this award for people that have pushed through all kinds of different challenges and issues that come their way. But there can only be one winner. And I'm delighted that Nikki Ann Wyatt has won this year's award. So congratulations, Nikki Ann, from everybody here at the Skills and Education Group.
Once you've got a goal and you feel like you're achieving something, that has a positive impact all around. I was working as a pastry chef. I've been doing that for about 15 years. And I was on my way home from work. I had a motorcycle accident. I was in hospital for a while and had quite bad injuries to my mobility. Over the years had operations and I never got the mobility back, and obviously couldn't go back to the kitchens. It's quite demanding work, long hours. So I ended up, a little bit lost, a little bit down, not knowing what to do with myself. I needed to do something. I was doing some online courses, some Open University courses, just to get a feel for it, kind of science-based, geology kind of based. I really thought like it would be an impossible journey, but my auntie encouraged me. I have another auntie who went into education in her 30s, I think it was as well. I went to uni. So, you know, I had that encouragement, made it feel like it might be possible. But yeah, so I had to get better GCSEs. So I did science in Stockport. That wasn't too bad. And then I went on to my Access course, engineering, Access to Engineering. And that was 3 modules, electrical, mechanical and maths. And that went on for a year, 15 assignments. After I finished my first assignment, that really gave me a bit of a boost. And then I started in the foundation year, Salford Uni. And I've just come to the end of that year now, and I start my actual year in civil engineering in September. I'm hoping that if I can get the grades well enough, that by the time it gets to the second year, I can go into the MEng and master's program, hopefully, or else I'll get my bachelor's and look at some postgrad stuff to do. Everyone's really, happy about it, that, I found something that I can put all my energies in and something that I'm really loving. Surprisingly, I'm almost enjoying it more than I enjoyed being a pastry chef. And I think that's a shock to everyone that, I'm as passionate about this as I was in my past career. And I didn't think I'd ever find something that I'd be that passionate about. And I think my whole family are pretty surprised that I went down that route, but very supportive and very happy for me. In the breaks, I'll still do my chocolates and some baking or some cakes at Christmas times and stuff. And I do a lot of savoury cooking now as well. A lot more than I used in the kitchen, because I'd eat, and when I worked in the kitchen 5 days a week, my husband's having pot noodles or something at home, that's it. Whereas now I'm cooking proper meals pretty much every day. He's really seeing the positive impact, to the point that he's starting college in September. He wants to do electrical. He's a musician, so he wants to build pedals. So he's been starting to do that, and he's doing college. He's doing GCSE science and maths, and then he's going to go and do electrician. So it's inspired him to go as well. So.
Each year, we get hundreds of amazing nominations for the Festival of Learning Awards. So, in addition to the award winners that you're hearing from this evening, we've also selected 7 finalists. Here to introduce those is Charlotte Bosworth, the Managing Director of Innovate Awarding and a member of Learning and Work Institute's board.
Thank you. I'm always so proud to listen and be involved in the Festival of Learning Awards. And to me, what this really, really demonstrates is we have that opportunity to showcase that it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, that actually the power of learning can completely transform lives. Each year, the Festival of Learning Awards selection panel are blown away by the quality of nominations received. Unfortunately, it's not possible to make everyone an award winner, but the following 7 nominees really stood out as deserving recognition for their achievements, and we want to congratulate them today. The 7 finalists for the Festival of Learning 2021 awards are Nicola Williams. Nicola's main motivation to return to learning after 7 years of stay-at-home parenting was getting back into work. However, she soon started to see the wider benefits of learning, also sparking an interest in a career change to become a counsellor. Getting into work in construction. The pandemic led to a dramatic increase in unemployment, making finding a new job difficult for many, but even more so for those who had spent time in prison. Getting into work in construction is a partnership between Hopwood Hall College and Inside Connections, which works with prisoners and prison leavers to gain qualifications and secure employment upon release. Keep learning, keep well. Lockdown put an end to face-to-face learning for many, But adult community education provider Skills and Learning didn't let that get in the way. They paired free-line online courses with wider information, advice and guidance to support people through unparalleled circumstances. Razia Fez. Razia arrived in the UK from Afghanistan knowing very little English. Motivated by a desire to support her children and to be able to live her life independently, she enrolled on a Level 1 ESOL. Since then, Razia has passed a GCSE in English and now aspires to help other people to discover the benefits of learning. Michelle Beck. Michelle works with adults of all levels, teaching creative writing as a tool for people to articulate and understand their feelings. Michelle's teaching is tailored to each individual and provides learners with a platform to express themselves through poetry, creative writing and open mic nights. Karen Davis. Karen first started a phonics course to support her youngest son who struggles with learning. However, she soon realised the wider benefits of education for her own health and well-being, which had been severely affected by postnatal depression and a nervous breakdown a few years earlier. Joshua Wolf. Joshua always had big ambitions to be a fashion designer, but had a difficult start to life and had lacked the right support. He enrolled at the Grimsby Institute while living at the YMCA. Now, 3 years later, he's following his dream to become a fashion designer and is a full-time student at Sheffield Hallam University. Congratulations to all. You can find out more about this year's finalists by reading their stories on the Festival of Learning website.
Brilliant tutors make learning possible for all of us. So we're really pleased to recognise the brilliant tutors across our country in the Tutors Award. This award is sponsored by the Education and Training Foundation, and I'm really pleased that here to introduce this year's winner is David Russell, their Chief Executive.
I'm David Russell, I'm the Chief Executive of the Education and Training Foundation, and we're delighted to be sponsoring the Tutor of the Year Award again this year. This award is so important to us because teachers, trainers, lecturers, tutors, they are the lifeblood of the education system. And that's as true of further education and adult education as it is of any other part. So we're delighted to be associated with this award. We have another fantastic winner again this year. And one of the great things about further education is it happens in all kinds of settings. It happens in colleges, in adult education institutions, it happens in the workplace. But perhaps the most challenging place that it happens is in prisons and in the secure estate. I want to pay tribute to all the teachers who work in the secure estate. It's a tough job, but it's a transformational job. A shocking number of prisoners and people in our secure estate don't have qualifications, they lack basic skills. People with learning difficulties and disabilities are overrepresented amongst our prison population. It's such important work. And I pay tribute to all the teachers. I'm delighted that one of them is the winner of the Tutor of the Year Award this year. And his name is Jose Aguiar.
I never wake up, in the morning think, oh, I need to go to work. No, I wake up in the morning with motivated to go to work because I know that it's important for us to carry on doing what we are doing and to provide these opportunities for the people, particularly in these circumstances. I feel extremely proud when they achieve. I feel extremely proud when they join the Open University or join high-level education courses, but as well how the education is transforming attitudes. So and obviously even how it affects behavior. And again, how education can change these identities where they can see themselves a little bit more than just a prisoner, but start to look and see themselves as a learner and someone with potential. I always had a passion for education, and I think that education really is truly an element, a transformative element that can create a better society, better and fairer societies. The pandemic had some negative impact because obviously the guys were denied, a lot of opportunities that they usually have. in prison, but particularly educational opportunities. I personally thought, that this was the right moment as well to support them. What I tried is obviously to create some activities as well during this period in the prison. So we are trying to use some competitions, things that they obviously could do in the cell because obviously they couldn't mix. What I've been trying to do is all the time to create different learning opportunities. I'm always looking for different learning opportunities to bring in. I'm extremely happy that obviously the work that I've been doing had that impact, and hopefully we can have that same impact in a lot of our learners, because definitely the aim of work that I do in terms of prison education is really to enable the guys to progress. I feel extremely humble actually by being part of that journey and to have played a part in this journey. And obviously, for me, is the main goal that I have, obviously, through education in prison, and is to enable these guys, to move away from the criminal identity and for them to see themselves as citizens. The first aim of education is about developing the person. So they start to see more themselves as learners and not just as prisoners or criminals. Thank you very much. I'm extremely happy and proud of receiving this award. This award is not just for me, but for everybody that's been working with me, supporting me, throughout these years in prison education. This award is not just for me, but represents as well all the work that we do behind the wire. All the prison educators and all the staff involved in education in prisons. Obviously, I would like to thank the Learning and Work Institute for this award, and all the organizations that have been supporting me, on my work, and all the colleagues that have been working with me throughout these years. So thank you very much, and I'll carry on. I'll still carry on the flag forward.
The last year has seen a real growth in online learning as people found new ways to engage in learning through the various lockdowns we went through. That shift is likely to be with us for many years to come. It gives people new ways to engage and helps those who might not be able to take part in learning to do so in new ways too. We wanted to recognise and celebrate that, and so here to present this year's Online Learning Award is Rebecca Garrard-Waters, the Chief Executive of UFI.
Thank you, Stephen. I am delighted to be able to present the Online Learning Award today and to be doing it in such a wonderful virtual manner. At UFI, we've always been passionate about the power of technology and the positive role that tech can play in supporting adult learning. And technology has been a lifeline to so many during the past pandemic. The use of tech has allowed us to be part of a wider learning community and to grow and develop even as we've dealt with the impact of the pandemic. And so it's absolutely fantastic to be able to celebrate all the different skills that have been gained over the last year, and particularly celebrate the winner of this award, the Online Learning Award, and all the things that they have achieved through the use of online tools. So I'm delighted to be able to announce that Daya Mahindra is the winner of the Online Learning Award.
Learning something skill is always good for your brain. That was my theory. If you're learning something, they say you are making new pathways in your brain. Your learn a new skill is just staying away from dementia. That was my theory, and that's why I won't put it into practice. When I reached 80, I thought I got to do something. After my accident and the stroke and all sorts of rubbish things, what happens in life. As you all know, we all get ups and downs. I had a lot of downs. Then I thought, how can I lift myself up? So I found that I go to the art and explore myself. What can I do to relax myself? So what I did was I started art courses in the college, the one in Cranford. And the circumstances came such that we were all locked down. So what do I do under the lockdown? I didn't know how to use this iPads and all sorts of things, all the technology. With my children's help, they bought me the iPad, they bought me the mobile. Then I could go into the classes and I couldn't join in because I didn't know how to join in the classes. It went on for quite a while. Then somebody at the college suggested, why don't you do the course on how to operate the things? That I can do everything by myself. I can order my groceries online. I can send the pictures if there is a problem. That kind of a thing. I used to feel lonely, and because I live on my own, being a disabled person, so I do not feel lonely now. I find serenity in doing the artwork as if I'm creating something. For example, today we went to the park, Gunnersbury Park, and Roger was doing the art classes. That was really, really nice. Seeing them for the first time, face to face, seeing them all there. And not only that, when I go into the garden, pick up the flower and sit down and paint, when it started, I hadn't a clue. I couldn't even draw a straight line. And I didn't know what painting was. To me, painting was just a brush, dip it in and put it on. And that was my first things. But as I progressed, I learned how to mix the colors, how to shade them. It gives you a sense of achievement. Now what I do is, instead of buying the birthday cards for the grandchildren, I paint them and they love it. That is how it keeps me happy. So I would suggest to any elderly people or young people, start any new skills, whatever you are interested in, and you will find you are interested in, and you will have happiness as well. Same way I gained happiness in art.
Many adult learners are coming back to learning, often after many years away from learning. And it's really important that we reflect and celebrate that. That's what our next award does. So here to present the Return to Learning Award is Mark Malcolmson, the Principal and CEO of City Lit.
Mark Malcolmson, Principal of City Lit. As Principal of City Lit, we are delighted to sponsor the Return to Learning Award at the Festival of Learning. Each year we've been doing this, I think the same thing, which is I really wish this award didn't need to exist, that everybody continued their learning throughout their lives uninterrupted in a positive, enthusiastic way. And maybe that's something we should aspire to. But ultimately, people drop out of learning, or their learning experience wasn't ideal, or they find another purpose to learn later on in their life that might be different from what they were doing originally. So learning being available and accessible to people throughout their lives is something that we passionately believe in City Lit. 30,000 people a year come to our college, as they do to our sister organisations, the other institutes of adult learning. And they come back, they revitalise, they reinvigorate, and they find something new. And they hopefully ignite a passion that's hugely important to them. So for us, in any year, this is really important. For the last year and a half that we've had throughout the pandemic, it's even more so. So many people have found learning a lifeline during this period, not only learning new things, learning new skills, but also keeping their sense of community and their well-being going. So for this year, more than any year, we believe this award is hugely important. I'm delighted to present this award to Kirsty Young for the amazing achievement she's achieved during the last year.
Don't give up hope. don't ever give up on yourself. Just think, what if? And until you try, you don't know. So it's best just to take that first step through them doors. I'm Kirsty Young. I originally went back into education because I'd come out of a really awful life situation and it was looking towards the future. So I needed something where I could give myself a future, but also my children. I had a normal upbringing really. What happened though was that I met somebody much older than myself. So I then ran away from home and I lived with him for the next 5 years. There was a lot of domestic violence, there was a lot of sexual violence, there was a lot of control and coercion. And so I found myself completely isolated from the world actually. I had no access to the outside world, and I don't even mean to say that in exaggerated, but I had no house key, I had no phone, I had no internet, I had no money. I had got to 18, I had 2 children and I was pregnant again. And within that toxic environment, I had suffered depression, I had suffered depersonalization syndrome, I had attempted suicide. It was just trauma all the time. And then one day, a vicar knocked on my door and he literally said, "Can I take you home?" And I'd been programmed at that point to say, "No, this isn't me, I don't know what you're talking about." And he basically said to me, "Look, what have you got to lose? Let me take you home." And that was the beginning of recovery really, but it did take a long time. Originally, my mum had suggested that I do health and social care level 1, really as a way to integrate back into society, as a way to learn to be with other people and to gain confidence. I didn't think I had a future. I didn't think it'd be possible. I didn't think I had a brain to be able to even go to college. I didn't think they'd even accept me. I remember that first day at college, I just felt like I didn't want to be there, if I'm honest. I thought, what am I doing here? I mean, I sat there and everybody else was 16. They'd just left school. And here I'm sat there, 19, almost 20. I'd been out of education for so long. I'd not spoken to people for so long. This is the thing, I'd been isolated in this bubble. So I went up to level 3, National Diploma in Health and Social Care. And then I applied to university to do Children's Interprofessional Studies. And basically that degree encompasses health, social care and education into one. And I completed that in 2014. I had support from college, I had a guidance officer, and she made such a difference to me in my life. And she continually said to me, "Look, you can do this, you can do this." And she was a massive influence in me choosing the route that I was going down, because I realised what she did for me, I wanted to do for other people. I mean, she still influenced me now. So I'm actually doing a PGCE in September. And then we talked about doing a master's. She's constantly behind me, backing me. So the job that I want to do, I want to be a teacher at college, working with learners who have got an education healthcare plan for a variety of reasons, working with learners on the lower level courses to help build them up, help support them and help them see that they too can have a future. I'm delighted to be able to accept the award for returning to learning. So thank you to the Festival of Learning for this opportunity and recognition. I also want to say thank you to Shahida Aslam from the Helena Kennedy Foundation for nominating me for this award, but for also supporting me continually with my learning journey and always believing in me. I would like to thank Michaela Blackford from East Riding College. You have supported me from the moment I stepped back into further education and still continue to support me now. So thank you, I really appreciate it. And lastly, I'd like to thank my mum. Mum, thank you for reintroducing me to further education. Without you, my journey wouldn't have taken me to where I am now and where I'm going to be going, hopefully teaching soon. So once again, thank you to the Festival of Learning, thank you to Shahida, thank you to Michaela, and thank you, Mum.
Across the country, there's so much brilliant learning provision, engaging learners, delivering high quality learning, and making a real difference to people's lives and communities. Our next award celebrates that. So here to introduce the winner of the Learning Provision Award is Maggie Galliers, the chair of the Learning and Work Institute Board.
It's an absolute privilege to be introducing the Learning Provision Award tonight. As chair of the Learning and Work Institute and as a former further education college principal, I have seen at first hand how learning providers in all sorts of settings, in communities, in colleges and in workplaces, make a massive impact on those that they serve. Our institute is dedicated to lifelong learning, full employment and inclusion. As an independent policy research and development organisation, we work with partners to inspire people to learn, transforming lives and benefiting individuals, families, communities and the wider economy. Our vision is for a prosperous and fair society in which learning and work provide opportunities for everyone to realise their potential and ambitions throughout life. And it is through the dedicated and inspiring work of learning providers up and down the country that this aim is realised. Lifelong learning has many benefits, including helping people to find work and build a career, improving mental and physical health and well-being, as well as supporting community engagement and active citizenship. And none of this could be achieved without the dedicated work of adult and community learning providers wherever they are based. As you can imagine, we had some great entries for this particular category, and it was tough to decide on a winner. But when you see the clip which comes next, I think you will agree that this learning provision is really special, embodying as it does all that we are celebrating at this event about the impact that learning makes. So it is with great pleasure that I can be the first to congratulate Positive Progression's Craven College on winning the Learning Provision Award 2021.
When Positive Progressions was nominated, I was absolutely thrilled because it does such a lot of good, and actually it's quite a lot of our learners are from quite rural locations, and I think urban areas get quite a lot of focus, but our learners have got other barriers. Just like there's no buses necessarily to get places, there are fewer job opportunities, and so straight away they're already disadvantaged. And I think it's great for a project such as this to win the award because it puts it on the map. We are working with York City Council. The project runs in Craven, York, Selby and Harrogate, and we work with the Citizens Advice Bureau and Home Start so that we have clear referrals into the project. All of those areas, we give them a key worker so they have one-to-one bespoke support to move them into employment. When people haven't done well at school, then they achieve something, even if it's a one-day first aid course, whether it's a short confidence building course, they're holding that certificate and they're so excited about what they can sign up to next because they just feel like they've achieved so much. And actually it's addictive learning, and so they just want to keep going and doing more and more. Every time somebody gets a job in our team, you know, it's like we want to ring a bell because actually that's why we're doing it. People that never thought they'd ever work, and especially getting a job that really works for them. So we had a participant who was hearing impaired, and they gained employment in a hotel, and actually the key worker went with them, supported them, wrote everything down for them, just put a real plan in place so that there was nothing that was scary, there was nothing that wasn't right. And so I think to really break down those barriers for anyone, no matter what what's going on in your life, it makes it worthwhile. You know, I feel like we are changing lives. I mean, 51% of our participants have gained employment, and a lot of them have never worked or have been out of work for a very long time. We've done some research recently on like 6 months later after leaving the project, and all of them were either in the job or still in the course or still engaged with what they're doing, or they'd got a better job and they'd reduced their benefits because they were now earning more, they were accessing fewer support services, and they were owning and controlling their lives, and that their children were attending school. They all just were happier. We measure their mental health and their resilience scores, and they were still as high as when they finished the project. So the project not only was getting people into work or progressing them, but they were sticking at it. They were still in it. And to me, that's having sustainable progression is the most important thing. Thank you to the Festival of Learning for the Learning Provision Award. Positive Progressions is such a well-deserving project, has worked so hard throughout the pandemic and before, and Craven College is so proud of the achievements of the project. It's just brilliant that we've been rewarded for this. Thank you.
Time now for the final award of the evening, the Outstanding Individual Learner Award. And here to present the winner of that is Emma Hardy MP, the co-chair of the APPG on apprenticeships.
Thank you so much for inviting me to present this fantastic award for the Outstanding Individual Learner as part of the Festival of Learning 2021. I'm sure nobody here needs telling how important lifelong learning is, how it can enrich and support our personal and professional lives. And as we've just faced a year like no other with all of the challenges that COVID has brought, I want to say an extra special congratulations to everybody who has been learning throughout this incredibly difficult time. But I'm here to present the award to one individual, very special person. And so, the Festival of Learning 2021 Outstanding Individual Learner Award goes to Rosie Wainwright. Well done, Rosie. You've had an incredible achievement. I'm sure there's going to be many more opportunities available to you, and I hope you have a fantastic evening celebrating.
So my name is Rosie Wainwright, and I am a regional manager for a charity called Career Ready. I spent some time in the foster care system, and this for me, I remember thinking about all of the things that I could do to become successful, whether that meant get a job or just kind of get out of the environment that I was in. And the one thing that really stuck out to me was when I looked at my situation, my family, my friends, the one thing that kind of sets people apart is education. So when I had certain experiences like going on internships or going to networking events, people would talk about, oh, I've got this qualification in this, or they do a specific job which requires a speciality. So that's when I knew, okay, so my way out is through education. I wasn't the smartest, I had to work really hard. So I went back and retook some of my GCSEs. My maths GCSE, I think I had to retake about 3 or 4 times. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I thought everything has a business, right? And then within that module, I kind of liked the law side, so why things are the way that they are, how the world works and operates. So then I had done my degree in law, and I love studying, I love learning, because you get to learn about yourself as well. And then after university, I then done a postgraduate in international business law. I was kind of in this mindset that success meant putting on a suit, working at a big firm, making loads of money. And I moved to New York and I worked at a big company and I worked as a compliance analyst, and I was bored. I was at a desk 9 to 5 every day and something was missing. And then on reflection, I was like, I was always volunteering, even like going to the Bronx and reading books to the children that lived there in the nurseries. So then I kind of had to do a bit of thinking, and I thought, there's got to be some way where I can actually like make this my life and work in that sort of area or industry. And that's the shift that I made. As I've kind of gone through my career journey, I realised what I love is working with people, helping others. So I've undertaken a coaching qualification. I know for a fact that's not where my learning or education journey is going to end. There will be something else and something more to come, I'm sure. Hi everyone, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone at the Festival of Learning who picked me to be this year's award winner. Honestly, it means a lot to me, so thank you.
Well, that completes our 2021 Festival of Learning Awards. I'm sure you'll agree that they're a brilliant and well-deserved group of winners, and I hope you enjoyed celebrating with them as much as we did. I'd like to thank everyone who submitted a nomination. They were all brilliant and made the job of the selection panel so tough. And I'd like to thank all of our partners, in particular the Department for Education, NOCN, Education and Training Foundation, Skills and Education Group, City Lit and the WEA. Your help makes the Festival of Learning possible. Thanks as well to everyone who's made this award ceremony happen, in particular to our award presenters, Oxyfire Media, Brother Bear, and the fabulous Learning and Work Institute team. And of course, thanks to all of you who tuned in to watch the ceremony too. Do please share our award winners' stories. We want to celebrate their success and help to inspire many more adults into learning too. And watch out for our Lifelong Learning Week in November. That will include the launch of nominations on the 12th of November for next year's awards. So get ready to get nominating. Thank you and good night.